What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, back with some more Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and I'm still kind of recovering from my cold a little bit, so I'm not going to do full commentary on this one. I'm just going to show off some of my favorite games from the past week or so, and I'll do a little bit of an intro, talk about why I think the game is fun, and then maybe come back at the end to share some of my thoughts. What happens when you play Brann in a money match where everyone gets 10 gold at the start of turn 1? Well, you're able to put together some pretty busted strategies. I don't think I could have made this go any better. I pick up the Brann here, buying my last battle cry. Then I use Faceless Disciple on a 4-cost card. I'm able to use that twice, and that gives me Young Murk-Eye, which is just crazy with Brann and crazy this early. So it all worked out super, super well for me. 2 things to note here. One is that I didn't want a Young Murk-Eye, a Faceless Disciple, because that will just turn everything on my board into random stuff, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. I do want the Fell Drake. Obviously, I make good use of that going forward. The other thing that I wanted to note, though, is that I didn't realize how Young Murk-Eye worked, in that he triggered both sides of him. I thought it was just the thing in front of him. That's why I don't sandwich him in between these Young Murk-Eyes, and ultimately decide to unlock the Fell Drake there, because I'm going to find more Fell Drakes after I do some Felemental stuff, as y'all saw. So we're gonna wind up figuring out a little bit more of how Young Murk-Eye works. I believe next turn is when I find both of the Felementals. Yeah, I find one and then roll and find the second one, and I think that is when I reread Young Murk-Eye real quickly. Oh, I do Primal Fin Lookout. Yeah, because that's free. So I picked that up in the meantime. Have to pick that one up first, so that way I can sell through some of these other things, and I'll still be able to buy the Felemental. That will be totally fine here. So I'll get out of both of those Moonbacon Jazzers. Could have had some really big blood gems this game, but we're going to go another route here. And then I do believe I read the Young Murk-Eye now, or maybe I just remembered that it triggers both of the adjacent battle cries. Yeah, because I don't really mouse over it. Okay, yeah, here I mouse over it. And then I realize, oh, it's adjacent battle cries both trigger. So I want to surround this guy in Felementals, and then that's going to give my shop +4/+4 each turn. Could also decide to build out some econ with the Murk-Eyed Scout, or whatever that thing's called, and just discover a bunch of Murlocs, but I want to make my shop really big first, and that's exactly what I do. Pretty incredible game. We're able to do some really fun stuff from there. Eventually, after I make the shops nice and big, I am able to eat up a bunch of stuff with Fell Drake every turn, which is just really cool. The Drakari doesn't actually work with the Fell Drake because I eat up everything in the shop, but I am able to make the shop multiple times bigger each turn, and I just wasn't really hurting health wise, so I just decided to go big and crazy and do some silly stuff, and not really able to get super punished for it either, because my Fell Drake is so huge, which just makes this board really, really tough to scam. It's still possible to scam. We can see my opponent here on full scam, so they are going to be able to take out the Fell Drake and hit me for a little bit of damage here, but not before I clear half of their board. I don't know. I still take a little bit of damage from this fight. So that means I have to play it a little bit smarter from here on out. And yeah, from here, that's when I just pick up another Fell Drake, I think, and start growing both of them rather than doing all of this silly stuff. But we were still pretty silly, and we were able to make some pretty powerful things happen throughout this one. So this was a lot of fun. That is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. Yeah, there's that second Fell Drake.